Hey, welcome into Inside Toppers Baseball. I'm Cody Shook, alongside Coach Burkle. Later on, we'll have a special guest, Nolan Marcus, who will be joining us. So please follow us on Twitter at Toppers Baseball, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So that way, each week when we post a video, you'll get an email.
Take a breath, dude.
You'll get an email for when we post new videos. So we'll jump right into it here. We played Glenville and Wesleyan over the weekend, well, weekdays, I should say. And the pitcher of the week for us was Yale Hughes. He had 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, and no earned runs. Talk about Yale.
I think Yale's finally, he made the comment to me he's ready to be dominant again. So, and he looked well. That's 2 outings in a row. He's looked well. He's starting to win the 1-1 count, 2 out of 3 strikes, and now it's just a matter of keeping his pitch count low enough to start finishing games. But he's back. All his pitches are working, and he looked really good.
All right, and then player of the week was Nolan Marcus. He batted .429 with 6 hits and 6 RBIs. He was on base 12 out of 20 times, and he had 0 errors in the field. What more can you ask from Nolan Marcus?
0 errors?
That's what the stat said.
I would definitely give him the Piro error. The Olay. But anyway, no. Nolan had a good weekend. Nolan's had 4 good weekends for us now. He's come alive at the plate. You know, he swings a big bat for us. His on-base percentage is close to 600. He gets hit about 30 times a year. I think he's already at 12. And we put him in the 2-hole, and he just seems to be that guy that every time he comes up, we know he's going to get on base, or at least give us an opportunity to advance runners or something. And he's so far, he's that guy that hasn't slumped at all. He's just stayed steady. He doesn't go 4 for 5 or 3 for 4 every day. It's usually 2 for 4, 1 for 3, but he just stays nice and steady, and he's been a huge asset for our lineup.
Yeah, and in all of his at-bats, he got on base 6 times without swinging the bat. He got hit 3 times, and he walked 3 times. That's really vital as a 2-hole player.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we lacked last year in our first 3 batters is I don't think we saw enough pitches. You know, DJ Busby as a leadoff hitter led us in at-bats, and that probably shouldn't happen. But with Nolan and Ethan at the top of our lineup, they're starting to see some pitches and starting to know balls that they can handle and they can drive. Every now and then Nolan will get a little anxious and swing at balls above his head or below his feet, but you know, sometimes he thinks he has power.
One of the things you mentioned about Nolan is his great 2-strike approach, and he doesn't really strike out that often. You've also mentioned that about Mike Adams. You're really confident about these guys with 2 strikes. What have you done to prepare them for these counts or situations with 2 strikes?
I'm a big 2-strike hitter. To me, we get a little bit wider, short, quick hands. Nolan doesn't give any of the bat back, but he handles the bat pretty well. Mike gives some of the bat back, chokes up a little bit. Mike gets pretty wide with 2 strikes. Mike has become a pretty solid hitter to where he knows what pitches he can handle and where he's going with them. Nolan the same way. Nolan takes a 2-strike approach just like, it's a plus count cut for him still a lot of the time. So Nolan's got it figured out, Michael's got it figured out, and as long as those 2 at 2 and 3 aren't striking out a whole lot, it keeps us in ball games.
Yeah, and then to mention the player of the week, for Nolan, that's an accomplishment for us, but when you look around our team this past week, it was a tough race because there was a lot of guys that could have won player of the week this week.
Oh yeah, we hit the ball well. There's no doubt about it. I think, what'd you tell me, 40-some runs?
Yeah, something like that.
40-some runs, a ton of hits, and we played really well. Starting pitching was very decent. The offense was very well, and that went. We got a chance to get some guys in the game that got some hits.
Yeah, I'm not a math major, but I calculated 47 runs in 4 games. That sound about right?
Well, you're definitely not a math major, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll move on to game 1 at Glenville. We got to play on their turf. We got to stay at the beautiful Glenville Inn, and we came alive there early. 13 hits, 15 runs, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 0 errors in the field in game 1. Pitchers only give up 2 earned runs and 3 walks. I think that's the big key there for the pitchers, the 3 walks. We won the game 15-2. And then game 2 at Glenville, 7 hits, 8 runs, 8 walks, and 0 errors again in the field. Pitchers gave up 0 earned runs and only walked 2 people. Won that game 8-3. Touch on the Glenville series.
That was a little bit of a bounce back for us. I mean, that was, getting beat by Ashland last week in a game that we felt we should have won. And I think we owed Glenville. Some of the guys thought that we owed Glenville, who came in here last year and beat us twice on in our own barn. So it was nice to go down there, play on a nice surface, and get a little bit of revenge with Coach Mullins and some of his Glenville guys. But our bats came alive. I mean, it's hard to defend line drives and the slugging percentage that we put up in it. And we really took advantage of the good field with the no errors. I mean, we really played good defense. We got great pitching, and we hit the ball. And that's hard to beat somebody on a weekend like that.
Talk about a guy like Justice Jackson. He played left field last year, taking over at center field this year. He had a home run. Not a guy known for power, but a missile off the bat. Talk about the impact that he had. He also had a bases loaded, I think, single that drove in 2 runs.
Yeah, Justice is still working it out, but he's getting there, and we need Justice. For us to be successful, we need Justice to be successful. So, we've sat him down a couple games, we've moved him around the lineup, and now I think we found a home for him at the bottom of the lineup. And we go as Justice goes. I mean, we need him to produce to be able to go a pretty long way. So it's nice to see him come around, and as long as he stays hot, he's a vital part of that offensive lineup.
All right, and then the bats didn't stop there as we went to Wesleyan, played them yesterday actually, and 21 hits, 18 runs, 9 walks, and another game with 0 errors in game 1. The pitchers gave up 3 earned runs, walked 4, and hit 3, and pitchers gave up 5 earned runs, walked 8 people, and won the game 18-5. Talk about game 1, and I mean, 8 walks, but we also got to see a true freshman in Matt Gruber in that game.
Yeah, it was nice to get Matt, get his career started that way. So it was nice he came in and got the first 3 batters he faced. Struggled a little bit in inning 2, but I mean, that was to be expected. I think it finally hit him after he got 3 up, 3 down. He was ready to. He put it in panic mode a little bit. But it was nice to see that, and we got him going now, so we know that we can bring him out of the bullpen at any time and let him throw.
All right, and then game 2, I would say, I guess, was the closest game, maybe the most nerve-wracking game as a coach for you against Wesleyan. The hitters had 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run off the bat of Ethan Estes. But the pitchers gave up 3 earned runs, walked 4, and hit 3 people. So that's, again, 7 free bases. But we did win the game 6-3. Can you touch on the Wesleyan game and series?
Obviously, the series was nice. I mean, that last game that ended 6-3 is tough to swallow as a coach because Yale was dominant for 7 innings. And then when you turn it over to a bullpen with a 6-run lead and we have to go to no doubles because the tying run is at the plate, that's a little frustrating, to come in and watch guys hit guys and walk guys. We needed 6 outs, to give free bases at that point in the game in week 4 of a season that's only 12 weeks long. That's frustrating. So our bullpen has to get better. I mean, teams have to see us coming and they say, hey, let's get in their bullpen. Because that's what I'm saying. Let's not go to our bullpen, is where my confidence level is sometimes with our bullpen guys. So our bullpen has to get better. And it's bad that it came down to that, but, because Yale was so dominant. But it does show that our guys have a little bit of, they can handle the pressure a little bit and finish a game when they need to.
All right, is there anything you as a coach are going to do in the next couple of days to maybe work on something for those bullpen guys to get them ready for this upcoming games against Concord and UVA-Wise? Because that's going to be tough, 4 tough games right there.
No, I mean, there's not much we can do as a coaching staff now. It's all between the ears and their work ethic. You can see it in some guys that, don't come to practice. They make up classes that they don't have. They don't show up. They decide they're going to do things their way. And then when they get on the bump, they get out there and can't find a strike zone because they missed a bullpen earlier in the week, or, they're 18 to 23 years old, and I'm not a babysitter. So if they can't get the job done at practice, they're going to fail in the game. And then it's kind of fun to watch guys because you can see now the guys that do the work and the guys that don't. So it's kind of fun to watch.
So overall, we did win 4 games. So this is, a very positive showing for us as the opening conference weekend there. So just as a whole, can you touch on the weekend and what are your feelings going into the next week?
Well, anytime you can win 4 games in a weekend, that's huge. I think that's only the second time that's happened for us since I've been the head coach, and that's 5 years. So to sweep a weekend is huge. It's hard to beat anybody, let alone 2 different teams 4 times in a weekend. So that's huge. It gives us nice momentum. We know that Concord's a good team. We know that UVA-Wise is a good team, and they're coming here to our place, so that gives us a little bit of an advantage. But, and we're coming on a short week. Our starters are going to go on a short week as far as rest goes. So we know we got our hands full this weekend, and it's going to be fun to play at home and get the crowd into it and show Concord and Wise what we can do.
All right, and then can you talk about the schedule change that did just happen against Concord and UVA-Wise for this weekend?
Games were scheduled Saturday, Sunday. We are now going to play Friday, Saturday. Weather looks very bad Sunday, Monday. So we've moved the Concord games up to Friday at 1 o'clock here at Cavalic Field, and Saturday at 1 o'clock first pitch against UVA-Wise for all the alumni guys that are coming back. I believe Reef, Nagel, MJ, Bruner, Castello, Morandi, Polanski. If I missed anybody, sorry. But they're all coming up Saturday, so it should be a fun time on the hilltop.
All right, so then Concord is 9-11 on the season. We've already played them twice, and they're 3-1 in conference play. UVA-Wise is 10-12 on the season and 4-0 in conference play. Talk about what you learned from Concord the first time and how we're going to make sure that we get 2 more wins in conference play this weekend.
I can tell you that anytime you sweep Concord under Kevin Garrett, you guarantee that they're going to be better the next time you play him. I think the first time we played him, he played a bunch of young guys. So I'm sure we're not going to see that unless those guys have earned positions. And I'm sure that his pitching staff has gotten better. And I'm sure that they're going to come in here with a little bit of bite to them since we took 2 games off of them in Beckley. Anytime you play Kevin Garrett and you beat him twice, you know that he's coming after you the next time. And as far as Wise, that every year they've gotten better. And I think last year we split with them. No, year before we split with them.
Yeah, we beat them twice last year.
And then now I believe they're 4-0 in the MEC leading the South. So we know that they're good. We know that they can hit the ball. So we know that our hands are full this weekend.
Alrighty, well that'll do it for this segment of Inside Toppers Baseball. Stick with us because Nolan Marcus will be sitting right next to me here in a minute. Welcome back to Inside Toppers Baseball. Nolan Marcus is sitting right here next to me. And Nolan, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 21 years old, from Edison High School. I grew up in a small town called Burgles. I grew up, I like to hunt, fish, played baseball ever since I was 4 years old, played football, basketball. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, what sports teams do you like?
I like the Cleveland Cavaliers in basketball, I like the New Orleans Saints in football, and I like the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Yankees.
I've been told multiple times that you're pretty bad at 2K. True? False?
Man, that's false.
I heard Justice can be any day of the week.
Me and Justice, we play pretty good games, but I probably get most of them.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about your season goals?
Coming into the season, I wanted to hit. I put a season goal as trying to hit 320 or better, and trying to limit my errors in the field. So
you're actually a transfer from Marietta. Can you tell us why you came to Wesleyan?
yeah, I transferred in the second semester of my freshman year, so I came here my freshman year. I just transferred because it's closer to home. I knew some of the guys that were up here, and I knew that they all had a good time playing for Coach Burkle, so I wanted to come be a part of it.
All right, very cool. Right now your on-base percentage is .561. Can you tell us a little bit about your mental approach when you step up to the plate?
I step up to the plate looking to get a good pitch to hit, looking to get a pitch that I can handle, that I can drive, and if it's not there, I usually don't swing at it. And I say usually because sometimes I'll be an idiot and chase. But if the ball comes at me, I just let it hit me because any way I can get on base is good.
Wow, speaking of getting hit by balls, you're leading the conference in hit by pitches with 12, which is 6 more than the next best. How much do you like getting hit by balls?
I mean, it really don't bother me. Playing football growing up, I was used to getting hit and having pain, so it really doesn't affect me too much.
Awesome. Anyway, on Have you ever been hit in the face by a ball?
Yeah, my sophomore year of high school, I took a ground ball to the eye, and it cut me into the eye, so that's about the only time.
Jeez, yikes. You're on pace for 43 hit by pitches in a 50-game season. Have you invested in any body armor?
I've thought about wearing an elbow guard, but I feel like I don't move very much, so if I have an elbow guard, they'll tell me to stay because that'll be an excuse for the other team to say I'm just taking pitches.
I gotcha. Why do you think you get hit so much?
I crowd the plate a lot. I get as close as I can without the umpire saying anything to me, and if it comes near me, I just let it hit me. I really don't care.
So earlier on, you were credited with a home run. Thank goodness that got taken away. It was actually Hunter Westlake's home run. How'd that feeling in the stat column feel for you?
I mean, it looked pretty good. It made my stats look a lot better. But Hunter hit that ball real well, and he deserves to have it in his stat column.
Do you have a favorite moment here on the hilltop?
Probably I took a ground ball to the cup and was somehow able to get the ball and throw him out first. It was pretty funny. So
Yeah, that's pretty memorable right there. Definitely better than your game against Ohio Valley last year when you pitched the full game. Yeah, definitely getting hit in the cup. a lot better. Yeah, I feel that. All right, so last question here, and then we'll wrap it up. So Benjamin Franklin, how many terms as president did he serve? 1 or 2?
One.
Yep. Man, you heard it here first, folks. All right, well, that'll do it for Inside Toppers Baseball. Check us out next week.